section 6.5 has to do with the sum and product of roots. Essentially what it is it's the reverse process. They give you the roots or the solutions, and you have to find the equation that matches those roots. And the formula you're going to use is going to be s sub 1 plus s sub 2 is equal to negative b over a, and s sub 1 times s sub 2 is c over a. So that's going to give you, the result of that is going to be the a, the b, and the c that goes into the equation. So here's an example. They give you these two things as the roots, 3/4 and negative 12 over 5. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add these two together. Okay, so I have to make a common denominator. The common denominator is going to be 20. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom here by 5. So I have 15. Top and the bottom here by 4. So I have negative 48 right here. So I have negative 48 plus a 15, which is going to give me a negative 33 over 20. Now, remember that I have s sub 1 plus s sub 2 is equal to a negative b over a. So at first glance, remember I'm trying to find a, b, and c. So it looks like a would be 20, and it looks like b, it'll be the opposite of whatever I have here because there's a negative in front of it. So it looks like b is going to be 33. Well, then I want to try and solve for c. When I say it looks like it, the a is going to have to be the same in both of them. So remember, the next step is I'm going to multiply these two things together. Because when I multiply them, s sub 1 times s sub 2 just means your root times your root. Okay, that's going to give me a c over a. So the a is going to have to match in both of those. So I'm going to multiply negative 12 over 5. That's going to give me negative 36 over 20. Notice I do get the same value for the a. So my c is negative 36. So when I go to write the equation, I have 20x squared plus 33x plus a negative 36 equals, and you could just put 0 there if you want, or you could put equals y. Okay, so it's the same procedure every single time. You're going to take the roots, you're going to add them together, figure out what the a and the b is, take the roots, multiply them together, figure out what the c and the a are, and then you're going to plug back in. Remember, this is your a, this is your b, and this is your c, which once you find them, all you have to do is put them in. Let's do another one. So first thing I want to do is add these two. So I have a negative 3 over 8 plus a 5. I'm going to need a common denominator. So that's going to be an 8. So I'd multiply the top and the bottom here by 8, which is going to give me 40 over 8 plus a negative 3. So I get a 37 over 8. So it looks like my a is equal to 8. My b would equal to negative 37 because it's going to be the opposite sign of whatever you have there. Then, to find the c, I've got to multiply these two things together. So it's going to give me negative 15 over 8. The a's match, so c is negative 15. So my equation is 8x squared plus negative 37x. Remember, I'm putting those in here, plus a negative 15 equals, and like I said, you can have it equal to 0 or you can have it equal to y. All right, this one is one where you're going to have to do a little work to make the a's match. So first I'm going to add them. Common denominator is a 4, so this is going to be a negative 2 plus a 3 over 4, which is going to give me a 1/4. So looking at this, it looks like my a is 4, my b is negative 1. Now I'm going to multiply these two. and I'm going to get a negative 3/8. Well, the 8 does not match the 4. So what I'm going to have to do is go back. I can make a 4 into an 8, but I can't make an 8 into a 4. So I'm going to go back here and multiply the top and the bottom by 2 and change the 1/4 to a 2/8. Now my A's match. So now I know my A is 8, my B is negative 2, and my C is negative 3. So all you did was you matched up the bottoms and changed your fraction up here to make it match the A down here. So now I have an 8x squared plus a negative 2x plus a negative 3 equals 0, or equals y. All right, sometimes your roots are imaginary, but they're done the exact same way. You're going to take these and you're going to add them. So I have 7 minus 2i plus 7 plus 2i. Okay, notice that the negative 2i and the positive 2 cancel out, so I'm going to get a 14. Well, that's just a whole number, and I need a fraction, so I'm going to place it over 1. So right now, it looks like my A is equal to 1, my B is equal to negative 14. Now I'm going to have to multiply 7 minus 2i and 7 plus 2i. Notice that these are conjugates of each other, so you only have to multiply the first and the last. So 7 times 7 is 49. And then negative 2i times positive 2i is a negative 4i squared. But remember, the I squared is equal to negative 1. So when you take negative 1 times negative 4, you get 49 plus 4, which is equal to 53. Again, I get a whole number, so I place it over 1. The A's match, so my C is 53. So I have a 1x squared minus a 14x plus a 53, and this time we'll put y equals y. This is often used where you have to go from beginning to end, where you have to solve the equation either by using graphing, factoring, completing the square, or the quadratic formula, your choice. And then you find the roots, and then you take the roots and you work backwards and find the equation and make sure they match up. So let's do one of those. I have to take the 11 over, and my choice method is going to be factoring. So I'm going to get an x and an x and a minus 11 and a plus 1. When I solve that, I get x is equal to 11 and x is equal to negative 1. So those are my two solutions, or roots. So I will then turn around and take those and work backwards and see if I can come back and get this equation. So I go 11 plus a negative 1 is equal to 10, or 10 over 1. So this is going to be my negative b over my a. So I have a, b, and c. A equals 1. B equals negative 10, because it's going to be the opposite of that. Then I'm going to multiply these two things together, which is going to give me a negative 11, or a negative 11 over 1. So my A's match, and my C is negative 11. So if I put it back in the formula, I have an x squared minus a 10x minus an 11 equals 0, or y. Notice that matches that. So what I've done is I've solved it, and then I've used sum and product roots to check it and make sure that I got the same equation. Your homework on this is page 363, 18 through 38 even.